Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a Halloween look, my first one, and this is going to be a look that you can dress up or down depending upon what you are wearing. This is a Ben Nye cream based color, and this is in CL1 white. This is a clown white, and I'm just taking a triangle cosmetic sponge and applying this all over my face, to my ears, and the back of my neck. Pretty much anywhere skin is going to be showing, this is where I'm putting this base down. And I'm not trying to do a clown white base, I'm just trying to white my face just a little bit, just to pale it out a little more, paler than my natural ginger self already is. So, if that's possible. This step, you could also use a foundation that is lighter than your skin tone, or you could use some of the skin tone colors that are at the Halloween stores. And I'm going in with a big fluffy powder brush, and I'm taking a powder by the Maroon. It's by Maroon, and it is a StarBlend line of their cake makeup, and this is in light gray. And I really like this color for setting bases, especially for my haunted house, because white tends to look a little bit fake, whereas if you put like a gray color onto it, or even like a really light like off-white color, it tends to make it look a little bit more realistic. Then I'm going in with a Bloody Mary Cosmetics eyeshadow, and unfortunately she doesn't name her colors, but this is a fire engine red color. I promise you that. It looks a little bit more of like an orange tone in the pan, but I promise it is the reddest, purest red you'll ever find. Then I'm going in, I'm just using that with a round blending brush, and I'm going on the brim, I guess like of where my eye sockets are. I'm not really going into my crease at all. I'm going above it. I'm actually going just below my brows. I didn't want to go all the way up to the brows just because that's kind of, I don't know, I don't like the way it looks when it goes all the way up to the brow. I think it looks a little bit fake. But I am just kind of making that shape like that. And I'm bringing it to a point at my temple just so it's not like a panda bear eye. This is another Bloody Mary Cosmetic eyeshadow, and this is more of a maroon toned color. I'm using that same brush for this whole look for the most part, other than blending. But I'm putting this color just below where I put the red. Well, I should say just on the inside. This look, we're kind of doing it backwards. You normally start from the inside and work out. This time we're working from the outside and working in. So, I don't want to cover that red. I just kind of wanted to take a little bit more of the pink tone away, because when you mix white and red, you get pink. So I want it to be more of an actual visible red color rather than pink. And then I'm going in with that red eyeshadow again, and I'm blending the edges of it, just because sometimes you can get a little heavy-handed with the darker colors, and using those colors to just lighten up the edge makes it a little bit easier for blending. Then I'm going in with a Ben Nye pressed eyeshadow, and this is in the color Mossberry. It is number ES62, and I don't know where they get Mossberry from. I guess I just don't know what a Mossberry is, but this is like an olive-based green color. Olive-based gray color, rather. And I'm going where I put that maroon tone color. I'm going over it, but just a little bit on the inside of it, because I still want some of that maroon to show through, because that's the base of the red color, but I wanted to take a little bit of the purple from the maroon away. This is a Ben Nye pressed eyeshadow, and this is in black. The number, if you're curious, is ES99. Any black eyeshadow will do. But I'm putting this all over my lid, and I am packing that color on as hard as I can possibly pack it, because I want a lot of that color there, so that my eyes look a lot more sunken in than they naturally are. But, sometimes you can get heavy-handed with that, like you did, well, I shouldn't say like you did, like I did with the maroon, and I just took a Real Techniques crease brush, and I had no product on it, and I blended it just a little bit so I didn't deposit any more black, because this is supposed to be a Halloween look, and we're not going for panda. We're going for, like, dead, but freshly dead, diseased, possibly. But yeah, so that is what the eyes should look like at this point. This is a Wet n Wild Color Icon black kohl liner. You can use pretty much anything for this. This is just cheap. It's 99 cents pretty much everywhere I've ever found it. But I'm going very heavily in my waterline and in my tight line with this, just to make my eyes even that much darker. This brush was in my last tutorial, and I kind of made this brush, I guess. I got it at Forever 21, and I cut the bristles to make a chiseled brush. Then I'm going in with that olive color again, and this is what I'm using for my contour color. I don't want to go in with any orangey tone colors to contour because shadows are not orange unless you have orange lighting. Most lighting is not orange. So I'm going in with this olivey color just because it's more of a gray tone, and I'm just putting this wherever I would normally contour in my everyday life. But I'm doing this very heavy-handedly. Depending upon where you're going to be is going to determine how heavy-handed you need to be with this. But I'm also shading in some of the tendons in my neck, and you get to make some pretty darn fun faces trying to find these tendons in your neck. But pretty much wherever the tendons don't stand out and don't show is where you want to put this color, just to sink them in that much more. I didn't do this for this video just because the lighting I was in, I didn't really need to. But if you're going to be in like a darker room, I would suggest putting a white highlight on those highlight areas. Then this is the crease brush that I used before to blend out. And I'm going in with that Ben Nye black eyeshadow. Whatever black eyeshadow you were using is what you're going to use for this step. And I'm just going in and lightly going through where I just put all those contour marks and making them heavier. Sometimes black can be hard to blend out, so just go back in with whatever you were using prior to blend with, or to set down the base color for, and you're going to blend with that color and that brush. It just kind of helps a little bit. But a little bit of black goes a really, really long way, so just be careful and cautious when you use black. But you do want to sink these in as much as possible. If you're going to be in a very dark room, you want your highlights to be very bright, and you want your shadows to be really dark. In a haunted house, we really go through with this because you only see us for just a couple seconds, so we need to make it pop as much as we can within those first couple seconds. But if you're going to be at like a house party or something, you don't really need to go so heavy-handed because most likely you're going to be in lighting that a normal house would be, and it'll probably be fairly bright. So depending on where you are is how you're going to want to figure out how much you need to contour and shade. Then you get to meet the real me. Dance break for life. I don't even remember what song I was listening to, but it was one of my favorites. If you haven't met me, you have now. So going back in, I'm using that olive shade. I didn't show it, but that big brush was kind of hard to contour the nose with, so I went in with my smaller brush and just started off with the olive, and then later on I'll go back in with the black, like we did with the rest of the face and the chest. Now, if you are wearing a costume where most of your chest will be covered, you don't really need to do the shading and stuff for your chest. If you're going to wear something that's high collared, like a turtleneck or like the old Victorian like neck corset things, if you're going to wear something like that, you can probably just skip this whole step anyway and just do the face. I would suggest maybe blending whatever you're going to use to base your face with and blend that down your neck, but it's not necessary to shade if it's going to be covered up anyway. But going in through with all the collarbones and just darkening up whatever I feel like I need to darken up. I made a couple more rib bones, I guess, in my chest just to give it a little bit more. But yeah, there's that. So I'm going back in now with black eyeshadow, and I'm contouring my nose and the cupid's bow on the bottom of my chin. This is kind of fun. I'm using that kohl liner, and I'm making the grumpiest face I can possibly make. And I'm taking that kohl liner and just going in wherever those creases are, and just making a little bit of a mark, and then blending it out with my fingers. Now, you can do this with a stronger mark, such as like a water-based black paint or a liquid eyeliner or something like that to make them stand out more, but I kind of wanted a little bit more blended look. But you kind of just gotta find wherever your face creases and make a mark and blend it out. So then I'm just going in with that first color we used, that olive toned color, and just blending just a little tiny bit. Now, to make the marks in your forehead, you need to make the opposite of your grumpy face. You need to make a surprised face, is the best way that I can describe it. But I just went through and found the marks that I wanted, made the marks, and then blended them out. So now I'm going in with that olivey toned color again and contouring my ears. This is important. If your hair is going to be up, or if you have short hair and the back of your neck and your ears are going to be exposed, you should probably do these. Just because monsters have ears too, and monsters have the backs of their necks. If you're not wearing gloves, I would suggest doing something with your hands and making them look dirty or something like that. But it just kind of pulls the whole look together and makes it look a little bit more like you did it on purpose and not like you forgot something. So you could stop here, but this is a little bit too clean for me. It's a little bit too clean. It's a little bit too perfect and polished and things like that. So I'm going in with a Ben Nye eyeshadow, and this is in the color Espresso, and this is ES number 56. And this is just a really warm brown eyeshadow. Any brown eyeshadow will work. And I am just using a regular old cotton ball. And I'm pressing it into the pan, kind of swirling it a little bit, and just picking up some of that color. And I'm going to go around the edges of my face first. If you deposit too much color at first, go in with a clean cotton ball and just pick some of that product up so you don't blend it and smear it all over what you just did. You're just kind of trying to add texture and dimension when doing this. You're not actually trying to cover anything that you did. But so yeah, it's amazing what just a little bit of brown eyeshadow can do. Now I'm using a Kryolan Burn and Injury Circle wheel, and I love this. This is a cream based makeup, and I'm using I got that brush at the craft store. I don't know what it's really called, but I'm going in with the darkest maroon shade that's in there, not black. We'll go in with black later, but you want to put a color down first and then blend the black into it. But I love this wheel. I use this a lot, especially for really fast burns. It's just something that works, and it's all in one thing. You can just pick it up and go. So now I'm going into, I don't know why I didn't use the one in the wheel. There is a black in the wheel, but I chose to use the Ben Nye Cream colors in CL29 black. And I'm going just on the inside of my mouth with both of those colors, and just pressing my lips together to blend them. So that is what that look looks like now. You can dress this up or down. You can put cuts and bruises and things like that in. Any blood that you put on this is pretty much going to make you look like a zombie. So if you're going for something like that, it makes it really easy. You can do latex things and do your cuts and stuff before you do your makeup and turn it into something completely different. So I just threw my hair down and ruffled it all up and hairsprayed it and threw some contacts in. I don't know what these contacts are called. I got them at a convention. I have no idea what the brand is. I have no idea what the style is. I'm sorry. They're red and black, and I love them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please leave me a like, a comment, and a subscribe if you are here to stay, and I will see you in my next Halloween tutorial. Bye.